Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's enjoying life. So today's video, we're going to talk about 10 ways that you can save money. And we all know how important money is in this world today. Money is how we live. Money is how we pay our bills. Money is how we take care of our families. So it's important for us to know many ways that we can save money to allow us to have financial independence. So we'll start with the first thing. One of the first things you can do to save money is something that's broadcasted across the world. You look at people like Dave Ramsey, many of the other financial people who promote financial ways to become more free and independent. And they always speak about what? Budgeting. Budgeting is one of the ways that we're going to talk about that you can save money. And when you're making a budget, you're assessing the way that the way that you're spending is happening. You can look at stuff like you're budgeting your groceries, you're budgeting your gas, you're budgeting your bills, you're budgeting the amount of money that you have on a spending budget a year. Or I'm sorry, not a year, a month, or bi-weekly. When you do things like this, you take more control of your finances. And when I say a spending budget, what I mean is that you get your paycheck, you pay your bills, take care of your responsibilities, put some money in your savings, right? Do what you need to do. And you say, oh, well, how much money will I be able to have for myself? If I want to go get me some KFC chicken or something like that, I disagree with that. Give yourself a percentage of a spending budget. That's what I mean. Budgeting for your spending, how much you want to spend. And it has to be smart, not stupid. But we'll dig more deep into that in another video. Number 2, canceling subscriptions. Now this is a big one. You have many subscriptions in this world today. You have all these television subscriptions. Example, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Peacock, all these other things that they have. You have food subscriptions that you can set up online. They'll send you boxes of food or every week or however that system works. I'm not a fan of that. That's just me. But you have to think about it. Is this beneficial? If you look at the subscriptions you have for the television, for example, when I was paying for cable, I was paying around $107 a month. Example. Let's take Hulu, for example. Hulu, if you have the whole package and the live television, it started out at one price. Like $60, $50, whatever, for the whole 9 yards. It is now at almost $80. So with just that one package, if you have Hulu, the whole 9 yards, you're already to what I was paying before for just cable alone. Netflix is like $20. Possibly around that, give or take around that. You got Peacock and Amazon Prime and everything. And before you know it, you're paying almost what you were paying for cable. For the food things, you gotta look at it. Is it smart for you to just have the food sent to you? Or can you budget it better by going to the grocery store? Maybe an Aldi's, or Walmart or certain places or Target. Is it cheaper for you to budget, or is it cheaper for you to get your groceries from the grocery store opposed to having it sent to you every week or every few days? That's something to think about. Number 3, track your spending. Tracking your spending is very important. The question is, what are you spending your money on? Of course, it's going on bills. It's going to bills, right? See, when you have money, when you go to work every day, you get a paycheck, right? It's sometimes suck when you get that paycheck and then it's gone, right? Then you start asking yourself, where did all my money go? You paid your bills, but then you're like, where did the rest of the money go that I had after I paid these bills? The question, are you tracking your spending? Are you monitoring where your money is going all the time? That's the question. Next, number 4, packing your lunch. So when I go to work every day, I take lunch with me to work. I meal prep because meal prep is convenient. Meal prep is cheaper. If you look at the price of food in general across the board, it is high. Inflation is going up. When I was coming up, McDonald's burgers and fries were $1.99, $2.99. Those prices are long gone. You're spending so much money on going out to get lunch. You do the math. Nowadays, lunch is like $15, $17, $20, depending on where you go. And in 1 week, if you're doing $15 to $20 a day, what is that? It's over $80 almost, basically, depending on if it's over 20, if it's under 20. So in between $70 and $100 a week, you're spending on just going to lunch. That's not counting whatever you do for dinner, whatever you do for breakfast. Something to think about. Next, set goals. Ways to save money is, another way to save money is to set a goal. Like, example, it's 2024. What is your goal for the next 90 days? What's your goal for the next 6 months, 9 months, a year? Financially, set those goals so that you have something to work towards, right? On your calendar, put an X on it for that date, right? So that you have no choice but to meet that deadline. Next, reduce your expenses. I'm gonna say that again. Work on reducing your expenses. And when I say reducing your expenses, that can mean many things. Example, let's use bills. You know, if you're one of the people that like to have your lights on all day when you're not at home, or all day when you're sitting at home on the couch in the living room, and you're like leaving your lights on in the bedroom or in the bathroom, stop doing that. Cut them lights off. Save that money. We all know how expensive electric bills can be when they come in the mail. You basically have a heart attack before you even open it up. You're panicking before you open it, or before you see it online, because you don't know what it's going to be. Especially when the weather is up and down or is doing whatever it's doing. So work on reducing your expenses. Next, save for emergencies. Now this goes back to that emergency fund that we spoke about. Because you have to save for emergencies. You never know what can happen in this world today. And saving for an emergency is very important. Very important. Next, work on automating your savings. Now, there's things you can do to have a certain percentage taken out or automatically go into your savings or your money market account, or whatever way you have your savings set up, right? So let's say you get paid on the 1st and you allot 8%, 10% to go automatically to savings. That means before you even know it, before you even see your paycheck, or before you even open it up, it's already gone to where it's going. You don't touch that. Automate your savings. I know that sometimes savings, depending on the situation or the person, saving money and being financially disciplined is very hard for some people. But I know everyone's goal is to be financially independent, to have better control of their money. and to take control of their finances. But for some people, it is very hard to do. And sometimes just to get it started, it is good to automate your savings. And then when you see that money growing and growing and growing and growing, it does something to you on the inside. And then you'll be ready to go for action. Next, we'll talk about meal prepping. Now, earlier, we were talking about packing your lunch for work. Cool. Now we're talking about meal prepping. So you can prep your meals you can have 6 to 8 meals. Example, right? You cook your foods from rice, maybe some steak, and some green foods, some asparagus, green beans, collard greens, whatever you want, right? You cook enough of it. You put it inside your meal prep containers. Make about 6, 8, 9, 10 of them, whatever you feel, right? Right. So when it's time to eat, you grab one. Boom. Right? Or maybe you want to mix it up. Get some steak and some fish. And you want to do like a flip-flop or a steak and chicken or chicken and fish, whatever you choose. It's up to you. I don't care. But you eat one. I'll take it for lunch before you go to work. Right? You take another for your snack in general. You come home from work, there it is. Right? And you see this, you already got your food already prepped. Well, guess how much money you spending after you already prepped the meals for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days? 0. Because you have your food already prepped for the week. So while other people are spending money going to Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Burger King, Panda Express, spending $20 for one meal, for one lunch. All that money you're saving. They're struggling, but you're saving. And that's how important meal prepping is. So, another thing you can do is also think about selling some things. A lot of times people have things in their house that they don't need. You purchase things that you do not need. You purchase things that you want. Let's be honest. Many people purchase things that they want and not what they need. And they purchase it and they either don't use it or they use it once. Sell that stuff, man. Get it out of there. Sell it, make some money off of it, right? And put that money where it needs to go, in the savings, right? Now you all say, Stephen, what about investments? That's later on down the line. We'll get to that. If you have no money in the savings at all, if you have no savings at all, forget investing. Get your savings up first. Okay? And then we're going to talk about avoiding credit cards. Avoiding a credit card. Now, credit cards, commercials always promote these credit cards and cash back and taking these trips and getting all these points and all that stuff. Look, man, that's just a way to keep you locked down, right? Avoid credit cards. It is not that necessary. That will have you locked, and the interest rates alone will have you locked down even further. Don't do that to yourself. Only thing it takes is financial discipline. You say, Stephen, it is hard in this world today. I need more money. Do you really? Or are you living above your means? Are you working a job where you get a certain wage and you trying to live somewhere that wage is not good enough? Well, we know many people that want to do that. You're making what, 10, 11, 12, $13 an hour or whatever, right? But you're living you're driving a $80,000 car, $90,000 car, or a Tesla or something like that, whatever. You don't need that. You're trying to show off. Who are you trying to show off to? Ain't nobody stunting you. You don't need stuff like that when you are in debt, when you don't have a savings account, right? You don't need stuff like that. That is stupid. Think smart, people. Think smart. You don't need credit cards. What you need is financial discipline, right? They always tell people, if you get a certain amount of money, live below that. It's always good to not live above your means, not even live with your means, live below your means. Live below it. Because if you live below it, you will have more, right? And then as you continue progressing in life, and you go to school, or you your career or something, whatever progresses, right? You get more money, you can come up a little bit, right? But you never ever strain yourself so tight that you're struggling and you're stressing out to the point you got to get credit cards. You don't need credit cards. You need financial discipline. That's all I got to say about that. So this video, I gave you some ways that you can save money. Please take note to what I'm saying, because I want the best for you, and I know you do too. All right? Have a good night.